Hello, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Fidel. In this video, I'd like to go over what is ego. Ego is simply the identification with thought, or in this case, it would be the identification with speech, because what I'm doing right now is broadcasting my thoughts out loud. So I can't be the words that I'm speaking right now. And if I think that I am these words that I'm speaking, then I'm wrapped up in ego. So anytime we identify with either the voice in our head or the words that we speak, we are identified with the voice as being who we are, where clearly we can't be that voice. We are that which listens to the voice. So who I am is that which is the awareness of either the voice that I speak or the thoughts that I produce or the vision that I am seeing from or whatever I'm tasting or hearing. That's always who I am. It's never the actual words, speech. For example, 2 plus 2 equals 4. But what's that have to do with me? But that's the point, is that whatever thoughts come into the mind are just that, they're thoughts. So throughout the day, you'll have all kinds of thoughts. It's an intelligence. And even these words, I, me, my, that's not who you are or who I am either, because that's just sound production that we all learn together in school. Look at any child, the way they develop language. They listen to certain sounds, and that's all they are sounds, and then over time they falsely identify their self as being those sounds because they're repeated over and over and over again to the point where we make this false association that we're these noises that we listen to all day. It's kind of like a radio listen to its own broadcast all day, and then the radio thinks that it's the music that it's playing all day, not aware that it's not the music that it's playing, it's actually that which is producing the music. The music is there, it's being produced, just like I'm producing these sounds, but these words I am producing, that's not me. And this is where it gets tricky, because of course all these words that I'm producing, your mind has been conditioned to listen to those words while you look at me, and then your mind might say, well, what is he talking about? How can he say that he is not me or I or self? And you might start listening to your own voice and then believing those words to be true. And then you're identified with your thoughts, so you're in your ego. So everyone has an ego, and that's without saying it, because ego is nothing more than that identification with thought. And it's easy to get wrapped up into that state, because we might be talking to ourselves all day, and then we're totally immersed in that thought, or whatever it is we're thinking. We are completely identified with that voice or what it is we're saying, to the point that we believe that we're the words, when in fact we are not ever these words. So ego is simply that. It is the identification with thought or the identification with voice, in this case, because I am broadcasting my thoughts. But to know that there's this other part of you that's seeing behind the thought, that's knowing yourself as the awareness that you are, because what is it that's listening to your thought? What is it that's listening to what you speak? What is it that is seeing through your eyes or tasting through your mouth? What is it that is feeling the sensations within your body? The intrinsic existence that you always are, irrespective of what it is that you may be thinking. There's no way you could be your thoughts, because if you never learned any words, who would you be? You would just be aware of your existence, and that's who you always are anyway. So in summary, ego is just that. It's when we get wrapped up in identifying with either the voice that we speak with or the voice that we hear in our head when we're not speaking out loud. But it's clear that we cannot be that voice, that at all times we must be that which is listening to the voice. None of these words that I speak have anything to do with me. They're just an intelligence that I learned just like you learned. And in the end, whatever I might think myself to be, that will never be true. Because who I truly am can never be known, because that can't be conceptualized. No words would ever be sufficient to describe either the reality that I am or the reality that surrounds me. And like I said before, even if I think that I am a self separate from the surroundings, that's all in my mind. Those are conceptual separations, because I can't take myself out of reality any more than you can. No one can, and that's why there is only this moment of reality. And this is all beyond conceptual understanding, and that's why who we truly are is just that is aware. If I were going to conceptualize or try and describe, and this of course is not the truth of what it is, but the best I could say is that if the whole universe were an ocean that's woven together, and every part of that ocean, including human beings, planets, stars, everything, all of that ocean is just woven together seamlessly, which it is. It has to be, because nothing could be taken out of it. So this ocean has developed an awareness of itself. And each part of the ocean is become aware of itself. Not that there's a separate person from the ocean, because there's not. And there's not a separate tree from reality either. These are all just ideas. What it is just that this is. And to try and find out what this is in thought is just trying to use our acquired knowledge to figure something out which can't be figured out, because what would be the answer? There can't be an answer, because you are already the answer. Everything is. That's why it's always just this present moment that no one and nothing is separate from.